Now that we found love, what are we gonna do with it? Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy E2 Blue coming back at you again on this Monday, Victory Monday. We know what happened yesterday. Crazy. I did the video yesterday. We talked about, how incredible the game was. Now, just to recap on some things that I didn't get a chance to speak on because of the excitement of the game, obviously. But I will say this. People question, was it a Dallas Cowboy win or was it Atlanta Falcon loss? Now, if you ask me, and I can't be a fanboy when I answer this question because, as much as I want to say, oh, it's always the Dallas Cowboys, but let's be honest, it was the Falcons' loss. They dropped that. Falcons had no reason losing that game yesterday, no reason. And we'll get into that whole punt thing and everything. We'll talk about that. The squib kick or whatever they call it. I'm gonna tell you how I feel about that in a minute. But I just want to say first, after today we'll be going into talking about Seattle because they'll be practicing again on Seattle because I think they have an off day tomorrow. So Wednesday they'll be implementing the game plan for Seattle. So we'll talk more about that week next week going forward. Now, what you didn't want to do is lose that game and be in a dark place and go 0-2. That's what you didn't want to do. Now, happy to win the game. It was an amazing comeback. I haven't seen a comeback like that since the Tony Romo era. And there's like 2, maybe 3 games that I can think of right now that Tony Romo was a beast. And 2 of the 3 games he won, but they were all still comeback games. Excuse me. Sorry. Excuse me. Weather's changing. It's crazy. It's getting cool out here now. Tony Romo, when he played, it was the game where one of the games is when he broke his rib. That was the game, the infamous game where Jesse Holley, shout out to Jesse Holley, he had that 76-yard catch. That didn't result into a touchdown, but I think Miles Austin scored the game winner on that one. And Tony Romo came back even though he broke his rib in the game. And came back and won that. Warrior status style. Then there was the shootout with Peyton Manning when Peyton Manning was a Bronco. That game was ridiculous. It was like 48-50. They Cowboys lost on a game losing field goal, but it was a shootout nonetheless. 40 burgers all day. Then there was the Tony Romo game where he threw 5 interceptions, came back and won the game. So this game with Dak Prescott, I have not seen that since then. This will probably go down as one of Dak Prescott's most memorable games. And also, he got an NFL record in this game. He had 450 passing yards, 3 rushing touchdowns in the game, and then he threw a touchdown to Dalton Schultz, and that was Dalton Schultz's first career touchdown. And when they say next man up, Dalton Schultz definitely stepped up. And I told you guys that when you get a guy an opportunity to come out and do something, he will show and prove. Some guys got to get an opportunity. Tristan Hill played pretty good on that line. Even though we didn't get a whole lot of pass rush, we only got 1 sack. Everson Griffin got that in the game. That was the only thing that we got as far as pass rush wise goes. I don't know what's going on with this D line. They're gonna have to figure that out. DeMarcus Lawrence. Everybody kept asking what happened to DeMarcus Lawrence. He actually had a knee injury in the game. I didn't even know. Because I was wondering, I was like, he just disappeared. He had a knee injury in the game, so they don't know exactly what the severity of it is, but I don't think it's like season ending or anything like that, but I guess it was a good sign because he did come back into the game a little bit, but it just wasn't the same. So, but he's got to step it up too because he's making all that money, and I know a lot of people is going to be in his pockets right now. When you make a lot of money, people want you to produce, and that's just what you're supposed to do. The linebackers, Joe Thomas coming in for Leighton Vander Esch in that middle spot showed up and showed out. He was everywhere on that field. The defense, everybody says how bad the defense has been playing, but it seems like, I know it's only been 2 weeks, but it seems like as the weeks are progressing, they're getting better and better. Now, we still need to get some more. We need to get some more push on that defensive line, but Joe Thomas played well. He helped out Jalen Smith, and that was really good. Everybody kept saying, because he was a backup, they don't know if he could do it or not. Again, opportunity provides confidence. And once you have that confidence as a backup player to come in and play, that's the thing. See, Jason Garrett when he was here, he didn't allow his backups to have a spotlight. So what Mike McCarthy is doing with this team, he's allowing his backups to do what they need to do, because again, if something happens, we still got to be able to win a game. It's too many times before during Garrett era where if a starter goes out, we're going to lose the game because we can't do anything without that person, and that sucks. That really sucks. But the fact that we won the game without our left and right tackles was crazy too. Brandon Knight started for Tyron Smith. Terrence Steele started for Lyle Collins. Now, considering this, and I know everybody's like, well, Terrence Steele got bulled over and blah, blah, Takk McKinley. Okay, you got to give credit to their defensive line. Takk McKinley is a vet. He's a good pass rusher. You're talking about Terrence Steele, an undrafted rookie, never playing in an NFL game. Asking him to play against the best defensive lineman in the game, you have to expect him to falter at some point. You have to expect him to lose some battles. Duh, that's gonna happen. But I don't think that he played terrible because, well, I guess when Takk left, the other guys he was stopping them. He wasn't. I mean, Dak Prescott was able to get passes off. Brandon Knight obviously played good on that side because you didn't hear his name during the game. When an offensive lineman messes up, you hear their name. Penalty calls, stuff like that. Brandon Knight actually held his own in the game, and I got to give those young guys credit. They tried. I know this is Brandon Knight's second year, so he has a little bit of more game spirits than Terrence Steele. I think that if Terrence Steele keeps playing, I think that he'll be all right. So we will then, in turn, in the future, look at these offensive linemen and say, I think we're good. Our backups are good. Our backups will be better. But we have to build that up. And in order for these guys to get better, they have to get game experience. That's how football works. Understand that. Lyle Collins, he should be back after this week. Who do we play next week? I think we play the Browns next week, I think. So after the Seattle game this week, I think we play the Browns so he'll be back week 4. And then Cam Irving, not having him, he was the original swing tackle. So you had your veteran guys out there, all of them are gone because they're all on IR. This stand is retarded. I need to get a new one from Amazon. Sorry, guys. My stand sucks. But I think that with time, this team is going to get better and better and better. There's a lot of injuries that happened in the league this week. A lot of them. A lot of injuries. I mean, I'm talking about was it Connor? What's the dude from Vikings? The Vikings starting linebacker just out for the season. Just everybody's out for the season. Saquon Barkley out for the season. Like just top guys out for the season. Even with the injuries that we have, the Cowboys still got good talent left on the field. So guys, don't give up on the Dallas Cowboys. I think we're actually going to get better. It looked like for a minute after that Rams game, it was like, oh, woe is me. But again, slow starts, fast endings. So look, it's not a race, it's a marathon. So again, you'd rather have that push towards the end of the season so you get to the playoffs. That's how I feel about it. Now, I think the Cowboys are going to be all right. I think they're going to be okay. Oh, real quick before I end the video, that game winner, some people call it a squib kick, but what that actually was a watermelon kick. So the way that he kicked the ball, the way that Zerline kicked the ball, he put the ball flat instead of up it straight up. He laid it flat and kicked it sideways like a watermelon flipping. So as the ball is curling and flipping, the Atlanta Falcons probably looking like, what is it? You had 5 Atlanta Falcon players out there. At any time, they could have grabbed the ball. I know they had their assignments, but they could have went and got the ball. They're sitting there looking at it. And Dallas Cowboys, remember, he kicked on the 35. You got to wait till they hit to the 45. They were waiting. 42, 44, 45. As soon as that ball hit the 45, C.J. Goodwin jumped on that thing. And we got the ball back. Atlanta Falcons was just dumb move by them. Didn't even know what was going on. So their coach, Dan Quinn, I actually watched his post-game press because I wanted to see the excuse that he was going to say because it didn't make sense. He was just like, well, our guys knew what they were doing. Obviously, they didn't know what they were doing. Because if they did, because the way that they made the onside kick rules now, it is damn near virtually impossible for the team kicking the ball to get the ball back. So when you do an onside kick, it's hard to get it back. So for the Atlanta Falcons to flub that up, let you know that they're professional choke artists. So shout out to Atlanta Falcons for giving us that game. Appreciate it. Thank you. Because we need to be 1-1. We needed that going into Seattle. And Seattle beat the Patriots last night. So they're coming off of a win too. So we definitely got to go into Seattle and win that game. But we'll talk more about that. But let me know what you guys think going forward. I think that we'll be okay. Again, we're starting off like turtles, but I think that, as this team meshes well together, Mike McCarthy gets to know more of these players and how they are, I think that it's going to be better because he's going to slowly implement the things that he's doing and things of that nature. I know some of the calls that we had, like with the fake punt and stuff, didn't work out right. One of them, though, I agree with. It's the one where Chris Jones tried to throw the ball. If he would have put a little bit of more oomph on that, and if C.J. Goodwin didn't fall down, that we would have got a first down and we would have continued our drive. But I feel like if it were me, though, if you wanted to go for it there, I would have just kept the offense out because I think that having Dak and that offense out there would have actually been better than doing it on special teams. But I think that if you're gonna do a gutsy play like that, like a fake punt or whatever the situation is, wait till close to the end of the game. And I know that we were down 20-0 in the first quarter. We had 4 or 5 fumbles. We basically gave Atlanta the game. We spotted them 20 points in the first quarter. Came back at halftime. Halftime was like 29. What is it? Was it 27-10 or something like that? And then we came back the third quarter, got the ball back into the third quarter, scored on that drive. Dak Prescott played his heart out and did what he needed to get his team back together. And that's how a quarterback plays for his team. That's how you fight for your team. Ezekiel Elliott always looking strong. CeeDee Lamb, first rookie ever by a Cowboys player to get 100 yards within the first 2 weeks of the season. How about that? So, CeeDee Lamb's going to get better. We're still waiting for him to get his first touchdown. It's going to be awesome. So, but shout out to the team. The offense did what they needed to do. The defense, like I said, everybody keeps saying the defense sucks, but they actually played an all right game because because of those punts and stuff like that we messed up, we gave the Atlanta Falcons very good field position. And because we gave them field position, they were like on the 40-yard line already. And what do you expect? You're going to get scored on right there. It's an NFL team. So the defense did what they could. They actually kept them from getting out of hand because the game didn't get too far out of hand because the Cowboys were able to come back. And the defense did get the stops they needed, even though they were missing on some third downs and allowed Atlanta to, get their first downs. But they still came back in the end and they did what they needed to do. But they got to get better going forward. Going forward, they have to get better. So, yeah. Julio Jones, on that long catch that he should have caught, if he would have caught that, it probably would have put the nail in the coffin for the team. But he was nursing a hamstring injury. So, the football guys are watching the Dallas Cowboys. But that's all I got to say right now. It's your boy E2 Blue, always keeping it real, y'all. Speak to y'all soon.